At some point in all of this, you might find yourself asking, was it me? What part did I have to play in all of this? Could I have done something differently? What could I have done differently? Guilt, grief, rage, victimhood, regret, loss, fear of unknown, fear of your unknown future. They're all there. If you're feeling them, don't worry about it. It's normal. They're all normal reactions to a difficult situation. I have to do full disclosure here. I am reading from paper that I already wrote down things, and it is not my really strong feature. I'm actually going to do a podcast. My writing is much better, and I always go off script and forget. So I'm going to do my best. I really like making the videos. I think they're important, and I really can yap anyway on pretty much anything, but I don't stick to the script. So I'm going to make a podcast where I read from the script. And this time of day, the sun comes shooting right in this window. I was trying to have it done a little earlier, didn't get it done, so I'm sweating like a piglet and, and all of that. So bear with me. I don't want to waste your time on all that, but I just had to say, if I look a little bit squirmy, that's why. So guilt and victimhood. What do you feel guilty for? This was something done to you against your will. Why would you feel guilty? And the thing is, because that is what those of us who are targeted by workplace bullies are inclined to do. They know this before they even target us. They smell weakness like they're like a hound dog on the scent. Honestly, this is not in the script. My counselor asked me, she said, you know, it wasn't you. What do you think it was? And I said right off the bat, because they made the mistake of thinking that we were weak. I mean, I am not the only one that's been targeted there. But kindness for weakness. You've all heard that before. We were all nice, decent people. And the thing is, we will turn this on ourselves because we want to solve the problem, because we want to be decent, because we want to own our piece of it and fix it and make it up. And so we will look for whatever we might have done. And they won't. They're all too happy to just go ahead and blame it on you. No, they know that they will be able to pass the buck onto you. And of course, that is a whole part of the thing, because the buck just keeps getting passed to you. And next thing you know, everybody in the place thinks you're an idiot, you know, and you're being accused of not doing your job properly. And nobody can work like that. I used to go in there and just wonder who was stabbing me in the back, who was talking to me behind my back. And I happened to have somebody in there that was telling me what was going on. I always knew, you always have the feeling, but in what really brought it to the head, I will say, and she was new. That's the irony of it. It wasn't the people that have been working there with me, people that I had been really good to, you know, not them. It was maybe on a couple of occasions, a couple little things, but it was this other girl. So because she didn't think it was right, I was working with her, and she was also being bullied. So she'd come in, and I would have to calm her down for like an hour before her shift, or first the first hour of our shift, because she'd be so angry. And the irony is, I said, don't take this on. Do not let them have room in your head. And guess who? Guess who ends up leaving? Because I could not take it. Kind of a little bit embarrassing, but anyway, whatever. Yeah. So decent human beings. They target decent human beings because we are not aggressive until we're cornered. I'm not saying we're never aggressive. I certainly did get aggressive. That's partly why I left, because I swear it was going to get physical, and I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there. I'm 62. I'm a 62-year-old woman. I don't want to go to jail for beating somebody about the head. So anyway, predators on the hunt for their daily dose of ego, power, and control. through finding prey or anything but passive, and that's what they think we are. So the guilt, you can examine it. Look at your part, look at your role in it, know that this wasn't your circus, and let it go. Just let it go. Grief and loss. Grief is real. You have lost something. You've lost something important, something you worked for, something that would have worked for you. You might have lost workmates, acquaintances, and the feeling of purpose in your life, social status, social outlet. I used to find that myself. I don't go out much. I am a homebody. I love being at home. That's why this is working for me. I wouldn't care if I never left the house. It is fun once in a while. Go grocery shopping with my daughter. But other than that, I'm not a social person. I go hiking with my other daughter sometimes, have a great time, and that's nice. But my social outlet was work. I got to know everybody in town. Before I started there, I didn't know anybody. I was isolated here. I was married for around 20 years and didn't barely leave the house. And I actually think I was a little agoraphobic by that point, but it didn't bother me one bit. And anyway, so yeah, you have lost a lot of stuff, and so you might have periods of grief. Don't self-blame. Just it is normal. It's normal. Acknowledge that it is sad and that it is a loss. It's a loss to you, and it is unfair. It is not fair. But as we all know, life is not fair. By this time in our life, I think we have figured that one out. So let it go and keep going. Keep going. Rage. Some of us bury it, some of us don't. I used to feel it, I will say. Somewhere along my journey, I guess I was always inclined to it. I'm pretty quiet and I don't like confrontation, but I will tell you, as I got older, it got a lot easier as I just got sick of the crap. Sick of the crap. I'm trying to make this a channel where I do not use profanity. So sometimes it might almost slip out. I will say though, I'm debating on whether to make a video about my story or not, and you might understand a little bit of what happened here, because that's the thing. People don't know the whole story. It's very easy for them to think, yeah, well, you must have done something. You know, it's normal. I might do that too. Unless you're actually yourself and you have been there or you've worked in that place and seen these people work, you might be inclined to say that. And it is very, very enraging. And I always do ruminate as well. This time though, it was different. I walked out of there, and that was a big reason I walked. Big reason I walked out of there was because I didn't want to be angry. I was tired of being angry, and I just wanted peace. Just wanted peace. And again, I was very afraid of my health. Very afraid for my health. I'd had so much stress the last 10 years, like horrid stress, that I was afraid. So I just said no. I walked away, could have fought it, could have taken it to the union. You know, I could have done everything, and I would have come out on top. Certainly in my own mind anyways, and that's what really counts. It would have been a nice piece of gossip around the job, and it would have been all done and over with in a month. But I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to put myself through that stress and that rage. That rage is stressful. So no, I said I wasn't going to spend one more minute on this negativity, and I haven't. Your mind is a menu, and that is my biggest tool. I start to ruminate because I used to do it a lot, and it is a coping mechanism. And what I did was, my mind is a menu. What do I want to think about? I'm not going to spend another minute of my life thinking about this. I'm going to think about something positive and move ahead, problem solve, think about something positive, even think about a good time. Sometimes I would think about some nice times I've had with my kids, and it would work. My mind would just snap right onto that. And sometimes it's harder though. I have had issues where it was really hard. I had to keep redirecting it. It's what they call it. What do you call it? It's not redirecting, but it's similar. It's re something. I will figure it out and let you know. Um, so choose something different, something to help you grow, improve, and get your control back. That's the main issue. That is the root of the anxiety, is loss of control. I tell you, I'm gonna make a video. If I can get, I did make some videos a while ago. I could not do this YouTube channel a year ago. I was feeling so out of control of everything. And even probably up till spring into the summer, I tried to make a few videos, but honestly, the difference is night and day. I could not, when I do my inside videos, being an older lady, I wear, do my hair a little bit. I don't really do my hair too much. I do wash it, but I don't usually, but I'm wearing makeup. I'm outside, I don't bother with it. I don't usually wear it, but for this stuff, I wear it. I want to look presentable as I can. So, um, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't do that. And I would put makeup on and I would look at myself and just like, oh, I look 80 years old. And I did look a lot older. Like I'm healing. I'm really healing. If you really think that this is not affecting you and your health and your body and your mind and your capabilities to have a good life, you are wrong, because it really is, and you need to get out of it. So anyways, you need to get your control back. You have to acknowledge this rage. You have to. It is valid. It's not wrong. It's okay. That's another thing in my counseling. She taught me how to tap. She basically took me through it, and there's a tapping you can do. Basically, I like it in this area. You do the top of your eye, you do the side of your eye, and you do the bottom while you're saying I, and I don't remember the entire script, but it's just basically, I feel rage. It's okay for me to feel rage, or whatever your feeling is. I acknowledge that I feel rage and it's okay. And then you can just keep going on, and you can do your chest, you can do under your wrist, you can do your wrist. Look it up on the internet, and I will be doing some more research in this series before I finish it off, and I will have a part on this. I don't know if she'd let me tape or do a session, but anyway, it works. It's crazy. I actually did this, and just to let you know, I had a like on the couch headache for 2 days. I felt it right away as soon as I did it, because it is actually releasing stuff out of your body. The first time I did it with her, my ear popped. It was a little bit of a different tapping thing. It was just on my chest that I did it, but it physically is doing something, and I can feel it. It's resetting your um, passive or something. See, that's my memory. This is my problem with all this stuff and just getting older. My memory is shot, but I will look it up and I'll find it for you. I always want to say impassive, but that's not what it is. Somebody out here knows. Some smart person knows what it is. And if you want to put it in the comments, go right ahead. I'll think of it as soon as I shut this camera off, as we know. Okay, but being in a rage is not who you want to be. It's not who you need to be, and it's not good for you. So let it go and keep going. Don't let them do this to you. Regret. Maybe you could have turned this thing around, right? Wrong. You know in your heart that there was nothing that you could change, or you'd still be there, hoping, waiting for it to change. There are probably some things you could have done differently. And guess what? Now you will. You'll know better next time. You don't have to worry anymore. You have leveled up. Maybe it's not what you were shooting for, but that's the way life is. And we know this by now. This is something that I have had to deal with, and maybe was the hardest thing to deal with as I grew up. I found out that life isn't fair. You can put 150%, and I'm that kind of person. Everything I do, I put 150% in. And I've known this from the time I was 18 years old. I remember talking to a friend of mine, and a lot of it is the way I was raised. I came from a very, very horrid, dysfunctional family when I was younger. Stepmother, step family with my sister and my dad, and she was like a loony tune. I will tell you something about that sometime too. Just take my word for it. For now, it was horrific. And I came out of it with no sense of myself, no sense of being able to do anything, just feeling like a dumb person about 1 inch off the ground. How the heck is an 18-year-old young, beautiful person with nothing wrong with them going to survive in this world when they have just been told their whole life that they're a piece of garbage, a nothing, not even as good as air, honestly. And I hope that my moving around isn't making noises on my mic. Anyway, so I remember saying, I feel like I have to do 150% to get 80. And it was like my life sentence, my life prophecy. It has been that my whole life. And so I willingly do, though, because I'm also very enthusiastic. I always say, I don't know if this is, I should say this, but I always say I'm a natural born cheerleader without the, you know, and I just can't bring myself to say it. But I always thought it was comical because I just love to encourage people, partly because of the way it is a gift. Sometimes these people do things and they give you a gift, because I spent my entire life fawning, especially my childhood. So it's just a natural born talent at this point. And I love to especially build up the underdog. I tell you, I'm very strong, and I do have that intestinal fortitude, that true grit. True Grit was my favorite movie. Both of them are great, and I used to identify with Kim Darby actually when I was young. So, who played the girl in True Grit? If you haven't seen either one of the movies, watch both of them. The old one with John Wayne and Kim Darby, and then the other one. Who was in the new ones? They were both really good actors. It was. Why am I making live videos when I can't remember everything? He's one of my favorite actors. I will find that as well and put it in the comments. I really don't remember who the girl was, but I know she was really good. I can totally picture the guy. Done amazing movies. Every one of his movies are really good. It's coming to me, but I don't know who it is. But anyway, so off on a tangent. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about regret. Can you tell? Trying to pick it up here. I have no idea where I was. There probably is something you could have done differently. That life is not fair. Life is not fair. And that is just the way it is, and you have to get over it. And if you've got to put 150 to get 80, that is the way it is. But choose the things that you want to put 150 into so that you don't care. That's basically, I have a beautiful life and I just love my life, and I put 150 into it. I have loved my life since the day I walked out of that place. And I love putting 150 into it. You can find the right things to put 150% into it. You can't go wrong. Acknowledge the regret, let it go, and then keep going. Fear of the unknown future. This is a big one. If you've been forced into retirement before you are ready, in whatever way, it is not a fun ride. It's full of anxiety. It rolls all of these things into one big ball of fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of falling off of your sure thing path. Fear of your newfound freedom, even while it feels like you've somehow won the lottery without even buying a ticket. Truth is, the future is always unknown. Our best chance is to double down and do what we can for ourselves after we take a bit of time to detox, to rest, to regroup, to recoup, and to make a new plan. That is far easier said than done, and I realize my situation is not your situation, and some people are in a lot deeper. Some people are in a lot less deeper. So it really does depend on your situation. And that's how come we have to do our best to do everything we can to build ourselves up. This is why I want to really focus a lot on my whole channel about getting our spark back, getting our health back, getting our finances back, getting our house in order, because it is a living thing around us, and it helps us or it hinders us. It affects our moods, our feelings, our productivity, our joy. It is the whole kit and caboodle. And that's a few things. So I think that I have everything here. Self-blame, that's the last. And I don't know if it's the biggest or not, but you know, you will think you should have handled it better, especially if you stayed long enough for the party. And after you've had enough, the situation escalates, gets out of your control. That is the key phrase again, control. The job unfortunately didn't come with a how to control a toxic workplace manual, right? Every situation is different. The manager or boss isn't going to provide you one, that is for sure, because in almost every case, they are part of the problem or you wouldn't be leaving. I know for me, I was having particularly an issue with two or three of the staff. The rest couldn't give a crap about what they were saying, but it ruined it. Just those three spreading crap around. I use crap a lot. It's a synonym for something else, but it sounds a little bit better, I guess. You know, this half the store that didn't know me thought that I was exactly what they were saying about me because I didn't take my lunch with people. And it wasn't, I tried to make it clear it was nothing personal. It was because I'm an invert and I couldn't deal with people all day long. And I just needed to get a break. And I'd also have a nap sometimes. I'd get tired or I'd, you know, use it to do my phone or to do something. And so they were sitting at the staff table, and that was another reason because I just couldn't listen to it. The, the, there were people that have worked together 20 years in that place, and we're still stabbing each other in the back on their lunch and their breaks. So anyway, but when my boss and my manager, and it turned out my manager was like one of the main people joining right in on it, and I call it a witch hunt because it was a witch hunt. There's not any other story for it, no other word for it. And when I tell my story, I will tell you why my take on it. It's all my take. Everybody has their take. I would not be leaving if they had backed me. You know, I was third in seniority on that front end, and what they basically did was squish me down under the pile of new students. Even there was one of them in there that had been there a couple of years, and she was a university student. I even talked to her on the side and tried to, you know, figure out what the hell was going on. And we ended up quite nicely, and I even gave her a hug. And the next day, I find out, and like she had been in talking to my friend and manager all the time, complaining about me and stuff like I was taking long breaks and long lunches. That was the biggest thing. But in the case where I was inside, I worked in the office as well. And when I was in there, I would take my lunches and my breaks in the office. So you tell me how I could be taking long breaks and long lunches. The office is like right off the front end. Everybody comes in and goes out as they please. Anytime she needed me, I just walked right in there. You know, I don't know. She said, "Oh." That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, I guess I'm going to clean this up right now. I did have my story, I think. Let's just say it. Sure, there probably are things you could have done different. There always are. But I don't know why I started reading that because I don't know where the rest is. On closer consideration, there are always reasons that you did not, and I find that for everything I do in my life. Every regret I've ever had in my life and other people, sure, I should have done this and I should have done that. But there was always a legitimate reason that I didn't. So in my case, I thought maybe I could have handled the instigator better. And that was otherwise known as the old biatch. I'm sorry, that's what I call her, only, you know, a little different. Maybe not have let her get under my skin so much, but she was destroying my reputation. My coworkers were disrespecting me behind my back based on her lead, and finally my manager joined in, which was fully characteristic. My manager, my friend and manager, was not the instigator, but she was the perpetrator. She kept it going with her full support of the lies, the exaggerations, and the BS. Just keep it coming, just keep it coming. That's what That's what a lot of these people like, because they think they're getting the scoop, but there's something in it. I mean, working can be pretty boring as well. The drama just like gives them some life, gives them some spark, gives them, especially though, this sense of control. She couldn't stand that there was a big gap between me and everybody else, because we lost most of the front end right after COVID. I was about the only one that stayed. So that made me the longest, basically, one working there. And she felt threatened by it. That's all I can say. She had the whole time I've been there. We were the same age pretty much. She was a little bit older than me, but not too much. And, but she felt threatened by everybody. It was not just me. But anyway, how, in the end, how do you handle that properly? There was nothing I could do. I had no power in that place to do it. So maybe I could have gone to my boss again, because I already had once, and he shut me down in support of her. He was right on my side till I mentioned her, and then it shut right down and started making excuses. Actually walked away from me. So they both did when I came to them. They both walked away from me because they knew that they were wrong, and that I was absolutely right. And so they just shut up and walked away. Another ongoing behavior with a history of lost employees who could deal with it, who couldn't deal with it either. And that was the rest of the sentence about my boss. We lost a lot of good people. I knew that I had grounds. I could have stayed and taken it further, but in my mind, my health was at stake, which I've already said. Stress is a killer, and it was affecting me. Do I deal with this and let it maybe kill me off before I even get to go to retirement? No way. No way. So I let it go. I let it go. There's nothing I might have liked better than to have gone through the process and rubbed their face right in it, because they all thought that they were just so good and that they'd really got me and that I wouldn't fight back, because nobody does, for this same reason. There's just no point. There's no point of putting yourself through all that. And then what do you got? You've got a job that is worthless. I mean, it's not even that I was making a lot of money, but I was making enough that it would have seen me through. We had just done a union contract, and which is funny because it sounds all hoity-toity, but honestly, what were we paying? $40 a month for the union, and it's useless, absolutely useless. And we just did the contract. We didn't get any say in anything. It was basically take it or leave it the way it is. And so it was slightly better, but it wasn't still anything to take home or to be proud of, but it was a little better, and I lost all that too. And it was worth it. It was worth it. There's not 1 minute that I regret leaving. There's never a time that I wish I had stayed. So I choose my life, my life. It's going to have its ups and its downs, but I can say that, like I said, I have never regretted it. I struggled at first with what I was losing, as I've just outlined, but I have found other things. I found other things. So, was it my fault? No. I can firmly say no. That's why I was so strong in all of this. They're not for 1 minute. Did I think it was my fault? Did I deserve it? No. I can firmly say I did not deserve it either. As a matter of fact, they lost a damn good employee, and they were just sheerly stupid. Honestly, that was part of it. I couldn't stand the sheer stupidity of it. I just couldn't. My boss said it's because my other coworker had gone to him already, said it's like kindergarten, or it's like high school mean girls. I said it was like high school mean girls in Auschwitz is what I called it. But the problem is he was acknowledging it and doing nothing. He literally said to me, "What does it matter? Don't worry. Like, I'm supposed to work in this." So I know now that it's up to me to make full use of every day to build my new life. It's a golden opportunity, a silver lining. It is a silver hair rebellion. And I'm up for that. I get more up for that every single day. And I'm really hoping that anybody out there that needs this support will join me. I really, really, truly am. This is what I feel I'm made for, to do this kind of thing. Because I think what the world needs now is for us to help each other and to stand together, not to be violent, but just to help each other, to be kind to each other. That's where our power is. I really believe this. And what about you? Ask yourself these questions. And for all of this stuff, I am going to be making a podcast for each one, and I will be making some kind of maybe a downloadable PDF for each section. I'm calling it chapters on my playlist. So this chapter is toxic workplace, and just to help you get through it. That's kind of what I do. My big goal is to have a members area, and we might be able to go further with it. I like accountability. I think it's the best thing ever, and I'll have a lot more about that. It won't be very expensive, but it will help me. I need to get to 500 subscribers to do that. So if you're still listening, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe for me and comment, like, all of it helps me out so much. Have a look at the playlist, share it if you have coworkers that could use this, and keep watching the series. And I do hope to hear from you. Check out this video I have in my notes. Surprise, early retirement from a toxic workplace. And that is for those of you that have found yourselves retired and you didn't mean to be. That's like me. I wanted to be, I couldn't wait, but 3 years I would have had it made, even at a crap job. And now it's going to be, I will be not able to do some things. I love East. I wanted to be able to go traveling there once a year. I wanted to move there at one time, but now I want to stay where my kids are. And so I'm not going to be, but I love that place with a passion, love the ocean. And I'm not going to probably be able to do it now, but if I may lose my house even. And my main goal had always been to hang on long enough to be able to stay here. The good news is I know wherever I go, I can be happy. So we'll just do that when it gets here, may or may not. So have a great day. Let me know any of your feedback. I'm going to turn this off before I lose my phone and blow the whole video. And thank you very much if you have watched this long. And I hope I hear from you. And have a great day.